Roger Federer, yesterday you rocked the tennis world. You rocked your fan base. I mean, you just rocked everything. So get to the post-match press conference, and I'm just looking at you, and I'm like, what is the matter? Like, you look so angry yesterday. Like, you could just start tearing people to shreds. Like, I don't know, whoever asked you the first question, it was like I don't even know if that was the first question, whatever is on the Rolling Garros website or whatever, but you look really, really angry. And I just want to tell you, you know, you have a total right to your feelings and everything, but is this really serving you? Like, I just really would love, like, if I were, could, just, if I were talking to you, like, face to face, I would just ask you, like, what was going on yesterday that after a win that you would be so angry? And I feel like, of course, I don't know your world. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if someone just pissed you off before you sat down. I don't know what was happening. But, if it's just anything directly related to the match yesterday, I'm just wondering, like, I think I would just say as a fan, and I'd like to say as a friend, I'd like to just say I'm your friend. As a friend, I would like to say, like, what's going on after you just really pulled out a really big win yesterday? Are you just angry with yourself? Are you disappointed with yourself? Do you feel that the match should have been easier? I'm only thinking that you could be angry with yourself because at the tie break, you had missed like a really important shot, and the commentator said you got extremely like angry with yourself, which is totally, it's understandable, and definitely not criticizing you for that. But I think, again, this is like another way of you kind of checking out a little bit. And notice, like, if you're watching this video, like, did I just piss you off by saying that? Like, you're checking out a little bit. So, you know what? If I've pissed you off by saying that, like, there's something there. You know what I mean? There's something there that you should, like, just sit with that. Sit with that and go, like, what's wrong? Because I really think what's happening is a lot of us, I think a lot of fans feel that you've kind of been, like, dancing around, like, you haven't, like, as my trainer would say, you haven't been, like, stepping into the fire. Like, you've been dancing around that for a couple of years now, and let me just do this. I'm going to talk to you I'm going to talk about you as if I was your opponent. Like, as if also as if I didn't like you at all. I'm just going to talk about you and talk about what I see. And I'm going to pretend I'm a tennis player. I'm going to pretend I'm a tennis player who plays you a lot. Okay, so here we go. All right. Man, Federer was all angry yesterday. He pulled out that match, and he plays brilliantly, but I'm glad, like, he seems like he's just, the dude is like in some kind of mental thing. Like, he is crashing and burning sometimes, and you know what, that works for me because I gotta play against him next week, and what I'm gonna do is this. I notice he gets thrown off. If I play him really hard, like, he'll start getting angry with himself and distracted, and I just want to, all I'm going to do is just play really hard. I'm going to push him really hard in the first couple of sets, and I'm going to watch him crash and burn. I'm just really going to keep pressing him. I'm going to make him run around. I'm going to hit hard balls at him, and I'm going to attack his freaking backhand like no tomorrow. So it's all good for me, like, because when Federer's all together, it's tough to win. But, I mean, he's got this coach and stuff like that, but I don't really see him, like, I don't really see any change with him much, Like, 1 week in Madrid, he was, like, doing serve and volley, and he was, like, all excited, talking about he wants to be number one in the world. Well, he's got to come through me first, to be number one in the world. And, I just don't see, lately I see he had a lot of confidence in Madrid and stuff like that, and Rome a little bit. but then he said he's tired or whatever, and we're all tired, so I totally get that, but I'm just going to make him more tired. Yeah, and the fact that he got angry yesterday, and he gets distracted. All you got to do is just, like, push him in the wrong way, especially in Grand Slams. Like, that is my strategy against him. Like, just push him hard because he's already, like, I don't know, he looks like he's really struggling with himself. Like, he lost a lot of personal confidence. He's not believing in himself. And I'm glad about it because that's how I'm gonna win, because, he gave himself the third chance at Roland Garros after I don't know what this dude is thinking, but it's all good because it works for my tennis game. So, I mean, he's not playing with confidence. It seems like he's struggling mentally. And it's so good that he's just distracted in that way because that makes my game easier. All I got to do is worry about Rafa or Djokovic. That's all I got to worry about. They can't do this anymore. But, just say, like, coming back to you, Roger Federer, like, just kind of, you know, as a fan and as a friend, as I call myself, like, to call myself your friend, like, you gotta, like, you gotta start pulling it. Really, no, straight talk, real talk, respectful talk, tough talk, caring talk. You gotta really start pulling it together, or else, you are doing extremely well, but it's like you can't even see that. You can't even see how well you're doing. And I think just being angry, if I think you were angry for the reasons you were, yesterday at the post-match, like, you should have been, like, celebrating, pumping yourself up. Like, okay, you didn't do it in the way that you wanted to do it or whatever. And I'm only saying that because it was evidenced by what happened at one of those that tiebreaker point we got angry with yourself. So I'm only basing it off of that because obviously I don't know you personally and I don't know what's going on in your mind, your head, and your life. I don't know if somebody pissed you off. So I'm just going off that, but I'm just saying it's also dangerous for people to see you outside, like, really wondering, like, they see you, changing your game and, doing this one week and changing this week and saying you're going to be number one week and then a couple of weeks later saying you give yourself the third chance after Nadal and Djokovic at Roland Garros. Like, this is real talk, you gotta understand, like, how people are looking at you, like, how people are like, okay, you know what, oh man, he's just, like, swallowed up by lack of confidence. And I've got so much love for you. This is the only reason why I could talk to you like this, or this is the only reason why I could put out a video like this. I feel you really now more than ever have to return to yourself, and what does return to yourself mean? Return to yourself means just really getting back into what you know you can do. Like, don't watch other people's matches. Watch your own matches. See your successes. Absorb those successes. Know that you're winning. Like that Juan Martín del Potro win, people are already kind of writing it off, saying, oh, he had problems with his knee, that was good for Federer. Federer was lucky. Like, you don't want people talking about you like that. And, I mean, Juan Martín, he was gracious enough to be honest about it and was like, listen, I'm going to say this once again to you, media, in his presser. He was like, Roger Federer, I'm essentially paraphrasing, he was like, Roger outplayed me. Roger Federer did a great job. And I know you did, and I'm proud of you, 4 set, 13 winners, 0 unforced errors. Claps! So I'm just saying this as a fan, like, and tons of your fans, like, Roger, you have a total right to your feelings, and you are a complete grown man, so I don't want to make it seem like I'm trying to talk to you, like, whatever, but, I would really, and a lot of fans would really like you to see, like, be present for the fact that you won a match. Like, it just doesn't seem like it. And the reason why I'm also assuming the fact that you were again, checking out, as I say in my other videos, like, you tend to get into the Grand Slams and you get into certain matches and you're like withdrawn and you're like angry, you're in this angry world. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, just go to RolandGarros.com and look at your press match. It's just 2 minutes long, so it's not going to take a lot of your time. Look at it and just see what your whole aura was, and that's the way you were again on the court. Wimbledon 2008, was the Australian Open 2009, and the semifinals of 2012 in Australia, and also I believe the semifinals against Djokovic in 2011. Like, you're pretty much so withdrawn that you can't be available to yourself on the court. And so I'm not going to say that that's what happened yesterday on the court, because you obviously really, really pulled through, and I don't care what anybody says, you kicked ass, that was amazing what you did. That's amazing comeback. Juan Martin is not trying to blame that on his knee. He said it didn't have anything to do with his knee. So it was amazing what you were able to do. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And I think when you move all the noise and you return to yourself, that weird kind of thing that I'm using, like when you return to yourself and just play tennis and trust yourself, and play, just play, you do well, you do extremely well. This is a Federer we know, and I feel like, a lot of people, and I'm sure, I'm going to be quite honest with you, like, a lot of players are looking at you like you've lost a lot of confidence, and you got to look at, like, when you show that you're in this angry world or whatever. You can be angry and yell shut up to the crowd and all of that stuff. I mean, you can do all of that, but when you show, first of all, and I'm not even going to pretend to sit here and talk to somebody about not getting angry, because it's not like I haven't gotten angry in my life. And so, and I'm not one to advocate suppressing anger. I am not one, trust me. So I don't want to make it seem like that, but when you are winning a match and looking angry and dejected, people are reading that like wild animals smelling an injured animal on the like an animal smells an injured animal. So just keep in mind, like, just embracing and upholding like your wins, like, yeah, I did this, and just not showing too much to the world, because people really look at that and they kind of be like, oh, like, he's losing confidence, or, oh, people just read things, how it is. Like, look at Murray. Like, what do you read about Murray? Like, Yvonne Lendl is coaching him. What do you read about Murray? What do you think about Murray? What do you think about Murray's attitude? What do you feel is going on in Murray's mind? People are reading the same thing. I'm not saying they're saying the same thing about Murray as they are about you, but I'm just saying that, just the way you could look at maybe Murray and see some things. And I don't know, maybe you have no opinion on Murray, I don't know, but I do, and I see certain things. And I also feel like, I see certain things with you that I could feel that other people make assumptions about, and it gives them confidence. Indirectly gives them confidence. So, you've got that to look at, and, I really say that, at the risk of just being honest and a true fan, but also at the risk of even pissing you off if you're watching this video, like, there's something you're not doing. Like, you're not fully stepping into some kind of change, and the reason why is because you are getting so angry after every match. Like, you're not changing something, so you haven't brought yourself fully to the breaking point where you're like, I have had it to here, I am changing this, I am stopping this. And I'm not going to preach to you like that hasn't happened in my life. There are things that I'm unhappy with, and it's not like I'm like really trying to do something ridiculous, make some real dynamic change. But after this video, I made a promise to myself, there's one thing that I am going to absolutely take care of. I had to take care of it anyway, but and it's nothing bad or anything like that, but just just those things that you know that you're not happy with, that you kind of let hang in its same status. And there is something there, like if you're gonna do if you're gonna have a coach or whatever, like I think be open, and this is an assumption, I would say, but I really have a bit of a strong feeling about this. I'm really gonna press myself to say it. If you have your coaching team wants you to do something that you absolutely haven't been doing, maybe it's time to press the limit. Is you're gonna do what you want to do and what's right for you. But as a fan, I'm just throwing this out there and saying, like, for as far as for Djokovic too, I know you're looking at conserving for the rest of the season and stuff like this, but as soon as Djokovic won, all of that set in the way he's been pulling through stuff, I just feel like before you even get to Wimbledon, before you even get to the Olympics, like, it's important to throw every single thing. I mean, this is what I would do personally. Throw every single thing out on that court against Djokovic, because you can beat him. But, like, if he's beating you, just turn it up. Even if it's hurting to turn it up, just turn it up. You know what I mean? Like, this is a cost. And you can see the way Djokovic is playing and the way Nadal is, both of them are turning it up. And the way Roger Federer, turned it up yesterday against all adversity and like, the cost is high. It's high performance. It's being on every single point from the giddy up, from the first set, being on every single freaking point, every second of the match. That's what's going to take to beat Djokovic. Somebody as thirsty as Djokovic, who fought like hell through that 5-setter the way you did. I mean, you worked a miracle, if you ask me. Like, I feel like your match is a little more epic than his, but I know he's a fighter. He wants it, but you want it too. But you're going to get out of your head, Roger. Like, seriously, with all due respect, as a fan, get out of your head and get present on the court and start saying that you are winning and that you can win these matches, and don't be so angry, you know what I mean? Like, the reason why I think you're angry is because there's some change that you are refusing to make unconsciously. There's some big transformation, and you are on the cusp of that you haven't done yet, and this is why you're walking off the court angry when you get beaten by Djokovic, or angry, it's not like you said, you know what, there's some guys in tennis who gave it all they had in a match and come off the court like, you know what, I feel good. I gave it all I had. This person just played better tennis than I did, but I gave it all I had, so I have no regrets. You never come off the court like that. So, Roger, on some level, you're not doing something. You're not doing something. And it's not to say it in a critical way. I'm just saying that, maybe it's time to really realize again, like, the opponent really isn't Djokovic or Rafa. It's yourself. It is yourself. And I don't mean to get all preachy, Jesus, but it's you. Like, the more you could be present for yourself, make sure you are on every single point. You don't have to worry about raising your level to Djokovic, your level of play to Djokovic's level, because I feel like you can't even see it. You play just as good as these guys. Yes, you may have less power. Yes, you play with one-handed backhand, which generates less power. But you are beating these guys, You're beating these guys when you are on. And the whole key is being on. It's not worrying about what their game is. The whole key is for you to be 100% on. And if you look at Rafa, if you look at Djokovic, if you look at the great champions, like, the only way you guys are winning and turning up that extra gear and beating these other guys who are not half serious and minds are here and there, like Murray. I'm not trying to diss Murray. Tsonga, I mean, Tsonga's never serious. Tsonga's an unbelievably talented. He's not playing anywhere near his whole potential, and that's why he lost that match, and that's why he never makes it that far, and that's why his wins are sporadic, and no disrespect to him, but I'm just saying, like, there's something about you champions who pull it out and who dig in. You dig in inside. You're not worrying about the other person, and you see that in Rafa. You see that in Roger Federer on a very good day, and you see that in Djokovic. And these guys are really, these top two, number 1 and 2, They're very serious right now. So, Roger, you're going to have to throw every freaking thing. Pull everything out of yourself. Because, I mean, if you don't do it here, the costs are going to be high for the rest of the season as far as your confidence. And unfortunately, I know it's a tough season, but it came to me like yesterday. I was like, you're going to really have to dig in hard for this. Fight it because you can do it. You absolutely can freaking do it. My computer is dying right now, so it's going to cut off soon, but the match is all about you. It's not about Djokovic. It's about you being on top of every single point from the giddy up. And it's about when he starts imposing his will, you are having answers. And you have the answers, Roger. You have answers. You can make things happen. But it's about moving out that anger that you have and stop withdrawing and stop checking out and be available for yourself so you can win. You're the only one who's defining the loss, Roger. You are doing it at 30. And I'll tell you something else, too. You know what? A lot of these commentators, and no offense or anything, like, there are quite a few of them who are jealous of you. You know, they've played tennis or whatever. You're surpassing them, you know, and be aware of that. Like, you don't need people to be, you know, I feel on some level like you're supportive, you know, you're so used to the support from people, and you know, this could be a total assumption, but when you're used to all of that, it's great. But when it disappears a little bit, you know, it's not that great. But just adjust yourself. You know, like, you have a beautiful family, you have Mirka, you have your girls, and that's all truly, I feel, you know, you could draw on as your family, you know. And to be quite honest, you are 30 years old, and a lot of people are jealous because you're surpassing them ridiculously in their own careers. I'm talking about a lot of these commentators, the older people, the women and the men. And I see one particular woman who I know is jealous of you. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be negative like that, but I'm just saying, like, when you notice a change in temperature in many people, you are doing something right. And when you know you haven't been a prick, you know you haven't been an asshole to them. Like, you see a lot of people changing a little bit and being a little standoffish a little bit. You're doing something really good, and you can't even see it. They see it, you know. So just get used to, you know, the temperature changing. And it may be changing in the locker room. And also with Rafa Nadal, I don't know. I mean, Rafa and Djoker and everyone else, like, I know they were a little bit upset with you. But I feel like you were being a very good leader as far as being the president of the Players Association. I don't know what you call it, the Tennis Players Association. You were thinking of the lower ranked players and stuff like that. And the temperature may have changed against you in the locker room, and those kind of things might add up, but don't worry about them. You know, as a matter of fact, the attitude, if you want to put anger into any area, is kind of like F them for now, because you've got a legacy. Like, you can't let those things affect you. So I'm just saying, like, I don't know if that's 100% of the truth, but just know you're doing something right when the temperature changes. So you gotta, like, don't let those things mentally throw you off. You're going to have a lot of people trying to write you down, trying to say you're finished and all of this and that. It's because a lot of people are really jealous and they don't know what to do with greatness, you know. You're breaking records and you're doing all this stuff. Like, just stay in it for Roland Garros for yourself. And Roger, the time is now. The time is freaking now. It's not Wimbledon. I just realized it's not the Olympics. Like, you have to